A 1911 that takes Glock mags? Let's check it out. For over 110 years, the 1911 has really stood the test of time. It's a legendary firearm. Again, it has been surpassed in a lot of ways, and one of the biggest ways is mag capacity. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Alpha Foxtrot 1911 S15. This is a really compact 1911 in 9mm, but it does take Glock mags. Now it comes with a Shield Arms S15 magazine, which is 15 plus 1. But it'll also take your standard 10-round magazine for your G48 or G43x. So, you know, it's just a 1911 pistol, which is single action, very safe to carry, and yet it has a huge mag capacity. Now, Alpha Foxtrot's based out of Duluth, Georgia. We've done a number of different reviews with Alpha Foxtrot, and they're really putting out some really high quality 1911s. And now, with a Glock mag. And we really appreciate Alpha Foxtrot for sending the AF1911 S15. Guys, I love 1911s. I just like the way they shoot. But obviously round capacity has been the biggest bane for the 1911. And with the Alpha Foxtrot being able to accept your standard Glock mags, just like this 10-rounder for the G48 or G43X. And then, of course, with the Shield Arms mags. Let's go ahead and make sure the gun's unloaded. We're going to drop out the 15 plus 1 S15 and the chamber's empty. So that definitely ups the game quite a bit. Now then we have the DLC coating, which really helps this to withstand the elements. You know, with the DLC, which is diamond-like carbon finish, we do have a bull barrel and it has that coating as well. Given some extra processes to really hold up, and then with the diamond-like coating on it or the diamond-like carbon, it gives it a very slick finish. The lubricity on this is just amazing. I mean, it's they say it's up to 200 to 500 times over your standard PVD finishes, which are actually pretty slick. Now the slide is a forged 416R stainless steel and barrel. And then we have an aluminum alloy frame. And one of the things that's a difference also with this pistol is that the grip is actually thinner on this than a standard 1911, and that is because you don't have any grip panels. So you're not going to be able to interchange your grips, but it makes it super thin. And for concealed carry, to me, one of the biggest things is the thinness of the pistol. They have really nice checkering on the back strap or the mainspring housing. It is flat, and then here on the front, really beautiful checkering. And then you just have texturing on the sides. But the fact is you grip from the front and back, and that's where you gain control of the pistol. On the side panels, it's not quite as important. So this is where you need to have it. And it's funny because a lot of 1911s, and I have a few, that are just slick on the front. And so this gives you that added bite to be able to really grip and hold on to it. Has a high rod beaver tail with memory notch. We have a commander style hammer. We'll look at the trigger in a minute. It is a very nice trigger pull, which is typical for your 1911s. We have a Picatinny rail with 4 slots, and that's on a small pistol. And then we have an extended frame safety, which I use as a gas pedal. And so when I'm getting ready to fire, I just take my thumb and I put it over it, and it just helps to mitigate the recoil. Of course, you have your standard takedown lever. We have 3-dot sights, and they are a green color. And of course, it's dovetailed in the front. And then these are adjustable for elevation. But they're not luminescent and they're not night sights, but you can obviously get that if you want to change these sights out. But they really show up well, and they are, of course, all metal. But it really has a low bore axis. That's one of the things about the 1911. Not quite as low as a Glock, but definitely it gives it a very thin feel to it, and yet it's very controllable. And a 9mm, I mean, it's definitely softer shooting than your 45 or your 10mm. Now the barrel is a bull barrel, and we're going to pull it back so you can see, and that's going to lock up to the slide. And you'll notice it is crowned, and it mates perfectly with the front of the slide. And this is the most important part. These are all hand fitted and hand lapped, so the frame to slide fit is really impeccable. But there is no movement. Even with some of the nicer 1911s that I've had, there typically is just a little perceived movement. But there is nothing with this. And we didn't have any malfunctions at the range, which, you know, typically if you get these too tight, you can't have problems. The rear is solid as well. Now the 1911 is a single action pistol, and that means that when you pull the trigger, it doesn't actuate the hammer. You take your magazine, load it up, place it in, and then when you rack the slide, you have a round in the chamber, and then you can have 14 rounds in the magazine. You can top that off with 15. Engage your frame safety. Now you're carrying it cocked and locked, and that's the way I like to carry it. I'm ready. It's in condition 1. It's ready to go. But still, even with the safety down, you're not able to actuate the hammer unless you have the grip safety depressed. And so it's a natural safety. It's a passive safety because you just put it on your grip, and now you're engaging your safety, and now you can fire the pistol. The DLC coating, I mean, it is just excellently done. It's a beautiful finish. It's almost a mirror polish. It gives you more of that original traditional deep blue that you used to see with firearms. We still see it sometimes today, but there's something about that real nice polish, and of course Alpha Foxtrot, and then here on the other side 1911 S15. Very minimal markings, and then you have your AF right here for Alpha Foxtrot, again mirrored on the other side. And made in Duluth, Georgia. And guys, if you're a lefty, you're not going to be able to switch out your mag release. That's the way it is with 1911s. You can get an ambidextrous frame safety if that's what you like. Being right-handed though, I like it really just on that one side. We have a skeletonized competition trigger, and it is adjustable, but this trigger is really nice. Commander style hammer as well. There are serrations on the top of the slide. It's going to keep glare down, and with that DVD finish, it's probably more likely to reflect back than not. And so it's nice to see those lines. And we have a loaded chamber indicator right here in the notch of the barrel. And we do have a slight bevel for the magazine. And with these S15 mags, or even the Glock mags, they're tapered a little bit more than your standard 1911, so it makes it a lot easier to get these mags into the mag well. Now as far as the trigger pull, with 1911s typically the trigger pulls are just excellent because it's single action and there's not a lot going on. So here we have some take up, we hit a wall, and then a really nice crisp break. Reset, right there. Very quick reset, no over travel whatsoever. Let's check the trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 6 pounds, 3.4 ounces. 6 pound, 8.3 ounces. A little heavier trigger pull is traditional with a lot of the 1911s. This can be tuned for sure, but it's that straight pullback. And really when you're firing it, I mean, it's a really sweet trigger pull. And guys, while this design is 110 years old, it has served through World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, served in Desert Storm with a lot of forces, especially special forces. It served with police agencies all over the world, and it still serves the U.S. military even today. But honestly, the bigger limitation has been magazine capacity. And with the 10 round plus one, or again with the Shield Arms 15 plus one, this really brings this up to the 21st century. And again, you can get the 2011s, and they have the double stack wide body frame, and it does fill your hand. And if you have really large hands and you like something with a little larger grip, then, you know, that's going to be good for you. But if you love that thin grip and you have medium to small hands, this is going to be an excellent option. But even with larger hands, guys, you know, while my pinky's still here, you know, larger hands, you may hang off a little bit, but it gives it, again, a really thin option. Now, one of the things I will note is that the magazine, the Shield Arms magazines, do wobble just a little bit. And this is one of the Gen 1s. I have some Gen 2s. I didn't have them available. But one thing you'll notice, if I take my standard Glock mag, it doesn't wobble, but very little, right here. And a lot of that has to do with where the magazine release is right here. But that's the one thing that, you know, I was just noticing, is that there is a little bit of wobble. But again, we didn't have any malfunctions. Weight on the AF1911 S15. 1 pound, 14.6 ounces. I want to thank Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made in the USA. Largest supplier of ammunition in the country. Also, we appreciate Lula Loaders. These mag Lulas are the bomb. Man, that's a sweet shooting gun. 1911 feel, 15 round magazine. I'm loving it. Single action pistols are very safe. Incorporating that with a Glock mag and aluminum frame with that 9mm, man, it's really nice. I love those fiber optic sights on there. They really show up well. But I've been impressed with Alpha Foxtrot. They're really putting out some quality, real quality. Finishing's great, but the way this shoots, it's got that 1911 feel to it, yet it's got a double stack 9mm magazine. It's one of the things about 1911 is, you know, it's just got that limited round count. This gives you a lot of capability, and using the Glock Model 43x or 48 mags or the Shield Arms, which I highly recommend. Very nice, little bulldog. Now for disassembly. We're going to drop our magazine, check the chamber, and it's empty. First thing you want to do is to bring your slide back right to this little notch, the first notch. And you want to bring it to the very end of your slide stop. And then you're going to push a little bit on the other side here, and then we can just pull that right out. Next, just go ahead and bring your slide forward. Now this has an unusual guide rod system. This 2-piece, and it really helps with felt recoil. But you want to depress that guide rod and then just bring it out. It is under spring tension, so be careful. And there is a plug right here inside the dust cover. Take your barrel link, drop it down, and then just bring the barrel out the end of the slide. Now we have a 3.5-inch bull barrel. This is a match barrel. Again, it has been crowned, and the diamond-like carbon finish is just beautiful. Here the quality of the frame. It's very well done, very smooth finish, no tool marks. And here with the slide, again, no tool marks. Just a very beautiful 1911. And guys, that's all you need to do for field strip and maintenance. It's really a lot simpler than a lot of 1911s. For reassembly, we're going to take our barrel. You want to make sure this barrel link is in the down position to go through the front of the slide. Once you get it there, you want to bring this barrel link back up. Now let's take our little collar here, and we're going to take the smaller step and put it inside first, and then we take our recoil spring and guide rod. We want to make sure that this little cut right here is going to fit against the barrel and it's in the right position. So we're going to drop it in and then just compress that spring just like that so it fits right up there. And then we're going to bring our barrel link down. It's really important that we fit the slide stop through the barrel link once we get it on the frame. Turn it onto the frame. Now what I like to do is watch for my barrel link so I can go ahead and get it into place, just like that. And then I'm going to bring back the slide with that little crescent, that first crescent. Bring back my slide stop. Now with 1911s, typically you get up under the detent and push it up. But with this one, you go straight in, just like that. And you're done. Honestly, it is easier than most 1911s. And being a small compact, that's definitely not the norm. As far as the price, $1,649 MSRP. And of course, dealer price is going to be less. But one of the things about that kind of price, because a lot of guys are like, wow, that's a lot of money for a handgun. But when it gets into the 1911s, I mean, a really good quality 1911 will run you right around the $900,000 range. And that's just your basic, nice quality with some, upgraded features. One of the big things about the Alpha Foxtrot is it has a custom frame. And without the grip panels, it's a thinner handgun than you can get even with any of your 1911s. With this being just really thin. Also with the checkering on the front and back strap, the DLC coating, some of the slide cuts that are totally different. You do have an accessory rail, competition trigger, your high ride beaver tail, your sights, the forged stainless steel slide and barrel, and the fit and finish are probably one of the biggest things as far as just being a 1911. This is a solid 1911. I don't think I've seen one lately that has been this tight. Now you can get your custom Wilsons or Nighthawks, different firearms like that really run up to sometimes $3,000, $4,000, and $5,000. But to me, one of the biggest coups for this pistol is that it does hold 15+1, and that's a huge positive. Most of your 1911s, especially in this size, we're getting down to 6 and 7 rounds. So this is 15+1. Even in a full-size 1911, you're only getting 8+1 with a 45, and you're getting 10+1 with your 9mm. So this ups the game big time. Taking regular Glock mags, that makes it a big plus. Now, one of the minuses is what we talked about a minute ago, is that there is a little bit of wobble here, just a little bit. I would like to try out some of the Gen 2 S15 magazines. It may be a little bit better fit. Then again, you can go with your standard Glock mags, and you're still getting 10+1 in a compact 1911 size, which is a huge advantage. So having mag compatibility with Glock, I think, makes this another attractive option. Trigger pull, a little heavy at 6.5 pounds. I like to see a nice trigger pull at about 3.5 to 4 pounds. But that's just me. But it is a very crisp trigger. So overall, as far as a really high quality carryable, concealable 1911, I think this is one of the best options on the market, and some things that I've never seen on any other 1911. So guys, if you're a 1911 fan, but you just don't feel adequate with that 10 rounds for the 9mm or 8 rounds for the 45 ACP, this gives you a great option with 15+1. And 2, it doesn't expand the grip. And this gives you a really narrow, thin option to wear, very comfortable all day long. And again, we really appreciate Alpha Foxtrot for sending the AF1911 S15. Glock mags in a 1911, I mean, I still can't get over it. And I don't need to get over it. Rubber Dummies is one of the best training tools on the market, and you get a 10% discount using Sootch00 when you click the link down in the description. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, long live the Republic. Go there yet, but I can do that. Wait on the AF1911 SB. Okay. Wait on the AF1911 B15. Okay. With polymer frame structure. Polymer frame. Wait on the AF1911 S15. Okay. Wait on the 1911. Okay. When it comes to 1911, if you got the moxie, You don't even have to know what moxie means to know what moxie is.